Mark, what were you doing on the 10th of June 1984? Can you remember?
But about to go out and have a wild time for 2 days.
Yeah?
Yeah, because in my mind, I just got called up to play for England. I'd got like 24 hours notice from Bobby Robson. I was on a South America trip with England to just look at as a young player. So I'd got promoted from the under-21s, which we just won that tournament. And I was going along just to see how it all worked and what the pros did and all that sort of stuff, because there was Robson and Shilton and all this sorts of Ray Wilkins, and just pick up on things. And then Paul Mariner got injured literally 24 hours before we played Brazil in the Maracanã. And as we're walking off the train, it was off on the Maracanã. This arm come from as I'm walking off and just said to me, he said, Paul Mariner's he's not going to be playing tomorrow. He said, you're going to be playing tomorrow. He said, sleep well, and just walked off and left me.
Sleep well.
Sleep well.
There's some sleepers.
Yeah, there you go. So pretty straightforward. I was in a pretty good place anyway, because as I say, we just come through the under-21s. I scored a lot of goals in that, and I say at 21 you're fearless anyway. You bring it on. So it worked out pretty well that trip. As I say, I was playing second, as it was right now, second division football, championship football, back for Portsmouth.
Sure.
So I mean, getting a call up first and foremost was pretty epic for from where I was. And then you couldn't have written the script. You couldn't have written it better. Sorry.
And obviously that game, everyone talks about the John Barnes goal because he beat he beat I don't know how many players.
That was an assist. I
gave him
I get it. Yeah, and he never gave it back though. That's the trouble. You find that with winners.
So how did you get the assist?
Well, I caught the ball on my chest. I was playing against the boy Moser, who went on to have a big career. He was a big unit. So I caught the ball on my chest, and it bounced, and I sort of was shielding the ball. And then Barnsley was unmarked out there, so I just knocked it out. I took a couple of touches and knocked it out to the left.
Went for the return.
In Brazil, there was three defenders, so it was a counter, boom. So he was left one-on-one with a wide forward, wide fullback, and then all of a sudden there was another centre half was dragged out because he put him on his backside, and he put him on his backside, and I was waiting for the ball to come back to me because I was through the middle, so I'd run off the other centre half, and he just went ding, 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 and put him on his arse, put the ball in the back, and that's what I got from the celebration. He span around and he actually elbowed me right on the chin.
I mean, that's thanks for you.
I remember that more than the goal, basically. That was a sore one, but he did the same for me in the second half. And he became the provider, and it was just straightforward header.
Good
which
goal.
Nobody remembers it.
Nobody remembers it.
It was a great
the only Englishman to score a winning goal against Brazil in the Maracanã.
There you go.
So I'm claiming that one.
Yeah.
I'll probably take that one to the grave. It was preparation for the Mexico, the 86. It was all going down there, looking at it, and heat and training and all that sort of stuff. And playing on pitches where the grass was this long, because the Maracanã pitch, the grass was like that. You couldn't see your boots when you was walking.
I would have thought knocking the ball along the deck would have been a big part.
Yeah, but probably.
They're used to it, aren't they?
That's why they're all flicking the ball up. And
the Brazilians are up. They're used to playing the beach, and they're absolutely used to it. So I struggled with that when I was in Mexico. The grass.
Very long.
I want to talk also about your time in France and Italy as well. And
how long you got?
Well, exactly. Well, so Mac, you were attracted to the bright lights of London.
I loved London, I did. But I was a boy coming down and just loved it. I got a chance to go. It was Barry. I got a chance to
Barry, right down on the hill.
Yeah, I thought no.
Paul Elliott.
Aye, Paul went there. Yeah.
I just played against Paul there for Milan when he was down there.
I thought they couldn't understand me in England. What chance have they got to understanding me in Italy? But no, I'll just stay where I am.
You'd be perfect down there.
What was it? What were your kind of your main memories looking back playing for Milan, for example? The fashion capital of Europe and all the. Yeah,
being young, I had two kids under the age of 3 as well. 21 when I went there. Young family. But listen, Italian people are so welcoming. They are traditionally family.
Yeah.
And it was no different for me. I completely threw myself into it, completely, and they're just like that. It's open arms, you know. If you want to fit into a culture, they will welcome you in. And it was a breath of fresh air for me. A breath of fresh air that I had Niels Liedholm as my manager, ex centre forward, 58 World Cup, scored in that the Pele final, and he was absolutely amazing with me. And Capello, if we weren't playing in Europe or we had a free week, he would spend an hour with me on the training ground with a goalkeeper, a bag of balls, and just walking through with Fabio, because he was doing his coaching badges, and he was taking the Primavera, the young team, and just walking me through where I should be as a traditional European number 9, because European number 9s and British number 9s were completely different. The British number 9 was coming over, you were tackling fullbacks, you were going across there, tackling fullbacks, you was trying to stop the ball going along and all that. So all my job was to do was play between the two centre halves, and this was unbeknown to me. And as my age went on and I moved on in the game, I realised that back then what they were doing is we were doing the high press, because what he was explaining for me to do was, if I was to go out there, the whole structure of the team wouldn't be right. So stay within the centre halves, because if you go out there, that means that our left-handed sided midfield player won't engage high up the park. Right, he'll stay back, and then Paolo will stay back, the full-back, Paolo Maldini, or Ivani, whoever was playing in there. And we would be playing long, and we didn't want to play long. And I sort of was working this out as I was moving on with my career. So we were all playing a high press all the time.
But not pressing wide, but staying in the middle in between the two centre halves.
I played, to let everybody engage behind me. So they would always take a step up. That left-sided Massaro, Daniele Massaro, he would take a step up. I would stay, he would go, and then Maldini would go. So we would all be on top of them.
And were you encouraged ever to drop deep?
Only for corners, just to defend corners or free kicks. No, literally, basically.
So your heat map can't have been huge, I'd imagine, if you were kind of staying in that same,
it's like all strikers. You look at all the European strikers. It's all in that space. It's goals halfway line. Don't come back in any further than the halfway line, basically. When Glenn Hoddle joined at Monaco, Wenger, I was his first signing, so we were up pre-season, full of French internationals, Battiston, Claude Puel, everybody was there, sort of stuff. It was a really, really good team. Luc Sonor, and we were like sort of 2 weeks into pre-season. Glenn arrived, so Wenger brought everybody together. I put Laturbi at the training ground into the centre circle, and he just said everybody sat down, and he introduced Glenn as our new attacking number 10, because he'd been looking for a 10 to play with me. And he said to Claude Puel, he played for France he said, Claude, he said, I want you to do all his running and tackling and give him the ball. He said, Patrick Mage, I want you to do all his running, passing and give him the ball. And he said, I don't want Glenn to come anywhere deeper than the D in his own half. Let's go and train. And that was it. It was the biggest breath of fresh air Glenn Hoddle had ever, because Glenn was brilliant, but he couldn't run and he couldn't tackle. But he was brilliant,
both feet.
Absolutely brilliant. And that's the difference between European coaching and British coaches back in the day. You build a team around a genius.
He was a genius. He definitely was.
You played with some of the best.
Like some of the names you've mentioned there,
I know. If you were put on a spot and you had to pick your top 5, I know I hate doing that to people because of the.
Well, my back four at Milan was Tassotti, Baresi, Costacurta, Maldini. Right? That was the second year.
Wow.
We had Di Bartolome, who came from Rome. Bless him, he's no longer with us. He was originally in that back four before Costacurta. Player. We had Massaro, we had Donadoni, we had all the players there, and then I went on to.
And you're 21 when you joined Milan. So I mean, what a school! What a school!
That's what you learned basically.
Paolo Paolo's the same background as me. He had a famous father that played at a very, very high level, but his dad was a Milan man.
Yeah.
So he wanted to speak perfect English, and I don't know why he wanted to lift in with us, me and Ray. So we picked him up every morning and took him up to the training ground. Yeah. So it was 40 minutes trip. Chat. I still speak to Paolo, WhatsApp and calls and all that sort of stuff. So it was great to be a part of that team as it was being built. Yeah. Brilliant supporters, brilliant team, brilliant people. I can't speak highly.
What was the best? I mean, city to live in. What would you say, Milan or Monaco?
Oh, you could hide more in Milan. But if you're going out with a prince though in Monaco, it's safe as houses.
Did you mix much with the Royals?
Yes, all the time. He's same age as me, and then, as I say, after the first year, we won the league, went to the cup final, and then I played. I'd just come back from Germany for the Euros. Funnily enough, and then I did my ankle in the October against Galatasaray in the quarterfinals of the European Cup. Yeah, and I was out for 2 years, and then this he's Prince and all the family were very supportive of the football team, and there's still major shareholders in that side of Monaco, and we had some good nights. Let's put it that way. He was always coming round, and he was always in the Jeep. He just has like shorts on, and we'd be off and we'd be out. And as I say, it was nothing fast or fancy about him. He just loved to talk about football, and and have a play. That was it. Yeah.
So the one time I went was in Formula One.
Yeah.
The Formula One. It was brilliant, unbelievable. Yeah. But me being me, I had to go to one of the clubs dinner.
Yeah, which one did you go to, Jim?
Stringfellows. Where else can I go? It was Peter says, "Hey, go on, £300 for a bottle of vodka." I was like, "Well, yeah." It was good. It was good fun. It was good.
Mark's talking about the role he played at Milan and staying in between the two centre halves and not pressing wide. You were a bit of a battering ram, Did you know?
No, not really.
All over the.
Down at West Ham, when I went down there, everyone talks as if it's a new thing. Yeah. This high press. Yeah. I mean, we'd done it, you'd done it, and I'd done it. It wasn't a case of that. It was me. When I went, because there's not that many great left backs or right backs. No, there's a lot now, but in the days, there was not that many. So if I saw the keeper flinging a dodgy ball to the fullback, if I went, that was the start. Everyone just came in behind me, and they just made sure we worked on it all week. When I went, make sure nobody can get an out ball. Aye. So 9 out of 10 I'd won the ball or they'd put it out the park.
You were get it. Yeah. You'd have kind of arrowhead of the team at that point.
I didn't mind doing the hard work for TC because TC never stood in between it. He just stood there.
TC being Tommy Coyne?
No, Tony Coyne. Yeah, Tony Coyne. He just stood there. What a striker. But I wouldn't want him any other way because I didn't mind doing the hard graft.
But you knew what he was good at.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and that's the important thing.
It was one of him. He couldn't believe it when I first went through and goal, and the keeper came in. I gave it to him. He nearly missed it because he was that short. He's never had a partner like that.
Nice teammate.